Business Takeout presents The Healthy Entrepreneur with Maxine Choy.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Healthy Entrepreneur Show. I'm your host, Maxine Choy, and tonight we welcome Michelle Esteban to the show. I'm so excited, Michelle. Look at you. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. You're so important, Maxine, that I've set my alarm as I'm in Europe right now just to be a guest on your show. I'm so honored, and I am ancient now, so usually I'm in bed by 9 p.m. Just kidding. Never happens.
I know, because right now you're in Spain, and
I am.
when I asked you to be a guest on the show and I told you the time, you said, well, that's midnight, but you'll do it for me. So I appreciate this a lot. I really do. So
yeah, it's easy to because I'm still working on Eastern time zone, so I'm usually up at this time anyway. So, but especially with an invite from the Maxine, then absolutely had to do it.
I thank you so much. And this show is about the healthy entrepreneur, meaning that we have our guests here where we discuss anything to do with just having a state of mind that's healthy and positive, because as an entrepreneur, we're always busy working on the business, maybe even come upon some challenges or distractions, and sometimes we don't take care of the things that matter, which is ourselves. And as I see you, we are friends, and I love how you are so bold and unapologetically yourself. You just plunge into things, you do things, you try things, and you just have no, you just do it. You're doing you, and I really love that, and you inspire me. And I have friends of mine who follow you as well, and they tell me, "Oh my goodness, that girl that you follow that always comments on your posts, I now follow her, and she's just giving me life." And this is the truth. Like, they tell me that you are giving them life. And this is so important, Michelle, because when I see your posts, your stories, it gives me life. It makes me dream. It really does. And it makes me dream of the possibilities of exploring life. It makes me, good evening, Donna Forbes. It makes me think of the two hashtags you always use: normalizing luxury, and what's the other one you use again?
I have normalizing luxury, and I have always, this is the funny one, nobody asked, but I have luxury lifestyle.
There was another one. I think it's creating a commotion or something like that.
Disruptive.
Be disruptive.
Disruptive.
Exactly. Yes. So we're going to talk about all of that in a second. But before we go, we want to talk about this show. And so this show is brought to you by Business Takeout. Business Takeout is a nonprofit social enterprise, and their mission is to increase Black wealth and empower Black entrepreneurs. And if you would like to connect with Business Takeout, I would encourage you to follow them on all social media platforms. There's on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We want to thank all the audience who's watching right now, whether you're watching now or later on. We thank you for your support always, and thank you for just being a part of this community. So, Michelle, you are a fashionista. I'm going to call you lifestyle, travel, events. You're everything in between, and I just love every energy, all the energy that you bring. Anybody who has met you has had that kind of impact that you've personified to them, and I'm one of them. And yes. So I want to talk a little bit about, like, when part of your life inspired you to do this, because you were in the corporate world, and you've transitioned into this girl who just like is out there on mountains and beaches and yachts, and you're just so bold and confident, and I love it. So what happened? Tell me.
It's thank you for all the beautiful compliments and the wonderful things that you said. I really appreciate that. When you're doing stuff that is bold and unapologetic and staying in your lane at the same time, it's it really is a testament that it's not about like who's liking what I'm doing or who's not liking it and stuff like that, because you get distracted, right? So it's I found that as a little Jamaican girl growing up, we're always, it's like be speaking but not spoken to, don't speak when out of your turn and stuff like that. So we're always kind of like this little timid person growing up. And I remember in school, I think it was like in junior high or something, it was, still this little timid girl. And then I just I expressed myself through style, through, saying, okay, if I wear red, if I wear green, the teacher will finally notice this little, black girl. That I grew up in Alberta, where, to see anyone that looks like you, it was like your family members and stuff like that. So it started with that of just being a little bit more bold, a little bit more, I need to start a conversation without having to scream, right? It's like you're noticed. We have a common friend, Renee, who's a stylist, and said you have 7 seconds to make an impression, right? So for me, it was just more of, starting a conversation without being loud. And I did that with clothing. In the sense of being, of living, I always say live a bold life. It doesn't matter if you live in Barrie or if you live in a tiny town in, Nigeria, or, in Spain, where I am. We're in one of the Canary Islands, which is part of the Caribbean of Spain. It doesn't matter where you are. It's you still have to live a very bold life for you. And after years of all the noise and you can't do this, you can't do that, we're both sitting here with the biggest afros. Like, even I would say 5-6 years ago, we could not go into corporate world like this, right? So now it's like you walk into a room with this, and it's the first thing that people talk about is this hair. And you're like, so it's that kind of like living boldly and say, forget the noise, because if you listen to every single thing, your mental health will just diminish.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? It's a battle constantly, right?
Yes, because you're listening to people tell you, why are you dressing like that? Why are you putting your hair like that? Where do you think you that doesn't look,
where are you going?
Right, or that doesn't look professional, or your head dry, whatever the case may be, right? But yeah, because I find that once you decide that you wanted to just be yourself, be bold, and express it through fashion, that became part of your like a mental health. Because a lot of times people they express themselves in different ways, artistically, physically, whatever, right? So you found it through being able to have a voice, but use it through fashion type of thing, right?
Yeah, it's dressing. I did a post today, and I think the only rule I follow with style is having fun with it and doing it for yourself. That is the only rule, right? So, you grew up, sometimes you see some people's style and it's just like, what on earth are you doing? Are you thinking? And then immediately I think like they're having so much fun. It's not about what anybody else likes. The only time I'll criticize someone's choice of clothing is like, okay, you clearly just picked that out of the dryer and put it on. You did not put an iron to it, right? That's the only time I'm like, okay, you need to do a little bit better than that, because I just dislike wrinkled clothing. But at the end of the day, it's like they're happy, they're doing it for them. And it is a form of mental health, right? To say, I can't wonder what Maxine's going to say if I wore this green shirt. I wonder what Mom's going to say if I wore this ripped up jeans and stuff like that, right? So it's everything in life that we do, it's a lesson, right? And you've got to determine like, who are you trying to make happy? And it's a selfish task, but it's also selfless, right? So we have to, it's a very tiny line to say, whatever you decide to do, whether it be fashion, whether it be travel, whether it be, buying your first home, your first car, there's always going to be someone that says, how is she doing that? I can't believe. and then you would still be sitting in the same spot forever. So everything
Mm,
you do, you're going to be criticized saying you're selfish, but then you've got to change it to say it's selfless, in a sense that
mm.
it's a very tiny line and you've got to stick to your guns, right?
You know, you said something about wear deciding to wear certain clothing, and it hit a chord with me because I'm pretty conservative, as you can see. I'm always conservative. Um, I'm very rarely do I go risque unless I'm in a bathing suit in Jamaica, and that's pretty much
Mhm.
where I get all my confidence from. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird, eh? Like I'll wear a bathing suit and take a picture and then post it on Instagram, but you won't find me in a low plunging dress or something very short, which is kind of weird. But anyway,
Not just you, by the way. It's from living in the Caribbean. We just came from living in St. Martin, and before that, we're in Curacao. It's
yes,
everybody. It's every
yeah.
single person. How they dress the moment they get off the plane to when you see them at home on their LinkedIn pages and stuff. It's just like
So
it's
different.
completely
Yeah,
different.
it's very different. And I mean, okay, so it's interesting how we define our clothing, or we don't wear certain clothing because of what we feel people are going to say and judge, and or we wear certain clothing so that we fit in to society or what society believes you should be. And I've seen you wear things from like runway fashion to like going for coffee, and you go from one extreme to the other, and I think it's amazing that you actually feel so confident in what you do. And a lot of people who will follow you will probably take on the energy that you bring. um, you have helped many people with being bold and just wearing what they feel like. And you always talk about style is not about trends or anything like that. It's about expressing yourself
Never,
and wearing.
never to
Yeah.
me. Never, never, never. If you, I'm going to do a tour of my closet once I finally, finish a closet, is to show you, I can tell you things that I've had for 20 years and things that I bought last week. It's it's timeless. If you keep following trends, first of all, you're going to go broke. And it's not the trends are not for everyone, right? So it's about a mood. It's about being your authentic self. And you think about it, from a 20-year-old to a 50-year-old to a 60-year-old to a 70-year-old, um, that voice still stands and is like, what is everybody going to say? But I think that is the biggest barrier to who cares? Like,
I know.
you, you care about what a lot of people say that you don't even like anyways. Well, it's not even like you are caring about what people are saying that you don't even like or value. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like, it's okay if I don't like that shirt you're wearing or whatever, but I'm not the one wearing it.
Mm.
So what would it matter? And I think it starts from you were a child to whatever age you are, to say, oh, it's like if someone invites me to even a simple, let's go to tea. I never think about what is this person going to wear. I literally think about what am I feeling today and what is the energy I'm trying to put out there in the world on that very moment, right? So it's yeah, I don't, some days I get up and even my husband will say, are we going somewhere? What's happening? Because I literally have this like beautiful red dress on and it's like, what is the occasion? I'm alive. That's the occasion. What is the
Oh,
occasion? It's like, I'm alive. It's Monday. That's the occasion. Gone are the days where we're like, leave that for Sunday. Leave that for the stew peas. What? So it's like, yeah, if you're going to be looking at me wearing like a big tulle skirt with a t-shirt tied up and, some Gucci sandals, it's Tuesday, that's the occasion, right? And I think when you start thinking like that, um, it just changes everything. It does.
you're giving me inspiration because I do have some really girly things in my closet. and I will have to save that for like a christening, a baby shower. Yes. And I want to save it for like maybe if somebody invites me to a cupcake party outdoor in a garden. Like, I don't know. It's just those things where I
But wear it
attach.
again. Wear it again. So this is another thing too, where people say, "Oh, I've been seen in that before." Like, what? Are you like Jennifer Lopez that's like going on red carpets every day? Are you being styled by like the biggest stylist in Hollywood that says I can't, I can't wear that again? If I like something, you're going to see it over and over again. And for me, that's authenticity. It's not about trying to fit in. If you look
Right.
at my Instagram, you will see many, many different outfits. But what is it? Instead of wearing it with green heels, I'm wearing it with like brown heels or something like that. But
Yeah.
I absolutely do not care if you have seen something, if you've seen something twice. You think of the person that works at McDonald's that works 7 days a week or 6 days a week. Every damn day they're in the same outfit.
Mm.
Nobody
Yeah,
says anything.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's so silly to me.
So, like, okay. So when you do you get criticized by anyone about how you dress and why you dress like that?
Let me answer in patois first. Me not care. I don't know. Me not care. Me not listen to anybody. The English side of me is just like, I don't believe I do. But if I did, and I'm sure this is
You're killing
my
me. I love it. I like that. You hear that,
um
guys? She says she doesn't care. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I love
me
that.
no care. Me no
Oh,
care.
me
I
no
don't
care.
know.
I don't know.
Um
I'm going to
I
practice that.
honestly don't, it's I have to say that if we many people think that vanity is so horrible, right? But for
Mm.
me, I'm in a country right now where in a place of maybe let's just say 200,000 people, I think I've maybe seen six Black people, right?
Where you are
Maybe.
right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
there could be maybe 20. Who knows, right? But when I walk into the streets or anywhere that we go, everybody kind of stops and looks, right? So the first thing I could say is like, oh Lord, they're looking at me in this bright red dress and this fro. Or the positive side is it's like, wow, they're admiring my outfit and thinking that why are there not more Michelles around, right? So if
Right.
we put it to the positive narrative, it's actually better for our mental health because I'd be sitting there going, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. I feel so uncomfortable and it gives me a headache and I'm super stressed and I get anxiety over that. But if I automatically just think that, oh my God, they love my outfit. I knew I'm so happy I wore this red dress. My mental state is so much better than the other side, right? So um
Michelle.
yeah.
You know that and if anybody's watching right now and maybe can relate, because you see, when I started to go natural and my hair was big, I used to internally apologize for my hair. So before I leave the house, I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope my hair,
Yeah.
whatever. And then if I'm somewhere and the minute somebody sees me and they go, oh my gosh, your hair, I'm like, I know. The first thing I would say is like, I know it's big, right? Or if somebody is trying to describe me, one time somebody was saying, oh, you mean the girl with the big hair? And I took that as, oh my gosh, they think my hair is too big, or and you're right. I had to I had to try to learn to say, they're looking at my hair and saying, her hair is gorgeous, I wish whatever, right?
The
It's
moment someone says something about anything of yours, right? It doesn't matter, even if it's a friendship, a family member that you hold close to you, or your hair. The moment someone goes, your hair, I stop immediately by saying, thank you so much. And I cut it
mm,
off. I don't know where they're going with it. Maybe they're going to say, it's thank you so much. Or do you know Maxine? I'm like, oh my God, one of my favorites. I love her. You know her as well? You direct the narrative towards your life, right? So why
yes, you
why would you allow them to finish when even if you were leaving your home and you're a little bit uncomfortable because your hair is not looking as fabulous as it used to, right? And as soon as someone goes, your hair, by the tone, you're just like, I know, I'm loving it today. I'm going to do an extra whatever. And suddenly it shuts off that kind of conversation, right? But it's your hair is not for conversation. There's certain things it's like, no, not today. It's not going to happen. So again, you change the narrative by putting the positive spin on it. But honestly, more so, I get the biggest compliments when it comes to color and hair and stuff. You're so bold, you're so this. And I'm like, but you can be too, right? It's hair for us is a topic that can go on for so
Forever.
many, oh, you've got good hair, you got the texture of this, you've got the texture of that. I'm like, okay, that's been from we were kids, right? So
Yes.
the conversation's always going to continue.
Right. I'm going to read some of like everything that you're saying is so on point, because even whether you have straight hair, curly hair, afro, dreadlocks, there's always going to be that topic or that statement or something. And I think I like how you're changing the way that you think about it. When somebody says your hair, you cut it off right there by just like making light of it, like saying, yeah, it's a little bit to the side this way. I love it this way. Maybe I'll do this way tomorrow. Like, not trying to apologize for it, but just acknowledging the fact that you love your hair, and it goes with just
I've,
like
I've
anything.
got, you have to think that how many, I've got so many white colleagues, white friends. I mean, my husband's Spanish, so that whole side where we all think that it's always just about black hair, where almost every single day, look at the amount of shampoos and conditioner when you go into any store just on Caucasian hair. So they're struggling with their texture as well. And they're looking at us thinking, oh my gosh, you've got the best texture ever. It stays, it does, and we're like, but I want that kind of easiness like that. And they're like, I would trade yours for $1 million, right?
Right.
So we've got to put the positive spin on that.
Exactly. Exactly. Can I just see the comments? Some comments had come through. Bold and beautiful. Love it. Thanks, Donna Forbes. And free up yourself at the island. Yeah, that's true. I do free up myself when I go away. We all do. Yes, I'm alive. Definitely, Michelle. I'm gonna follow that. Yeah, thanks. Oh, and yeah, Minocare. Absolutely. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says Minocare. Get one of
Medicare.
those. Minocare. So, when you started expressing yourself through fashion, um, what what were you thinking? Were you thinking? Diane says um so cute India Ari. Yes, I'm not my hair.
I
Absolutely.
am not my
Not my
hair.
hair. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that comment. So when you decided that when you transitioned into fashion because you came from the corporate world, what direction were you thinking it was going to go in? Was it just because you love fashion and style, or because you wanted to express yourself and
I've always loved style. My sister during the holidays was telling me a story about someone like, when I started working for my very first job was McDonald's. And I was altering McDonald's uniforms because I'm like, no, 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 it could do a little bit better. It's to this, it's to that, right? But
mm-hmm.
even, when my mom would go for parent teacher interviews, it was just like, okay, Michelle is just all about style. And sometimes I think she's going to be in the fashion industry because it's all about, let me make sure I look great because I have to present something or I have to recite a poem or something like that. Um, I think for me, it just comes of representation. It's representation for me. You're representing yourself when it's good manners for me. Just to
Mm.
like, it doesn't matter on price. I'm never about, oh, I look better because I'm wearing a Gucci outfit or I'm wearing a Gucci shoes or whatever. It's nothing about that. I talk about things that are $7 or $7,000. I
Yes.
give them the exact same attention. But I believe when I present myself, I want to be remembered again for my kindness, for my manners, all of that kind of stuff. But we as in many Black women, many Black people, we always have to do a little bit extra, right? And for me, if you're going to remember anything, you're going to remember that I was in that bold green dress or that yellow dress or something like that, unapologetically, so wintertime, you will see me in the brightest yellow jacket, the brightest blue jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I own maybe a lot of jackets, and maybe one of them is black, right? Because I just think that, you know, it's my way of just kind of expressing like I'm here, right?
I love that. Because oftentimes, like I said, people are more conservative and we tend to shy away from being bold. And a lot of it has to do with social media and how people portray us. I believe, and I think people portray me as very conservative on social media because of what I post. And really and truly, it's just because of my limited wardrobe. I don't shop a lot as much as people think, and I'm usually shopping for on a more corporate type of wardrobe. However, there's parts of me that wants to be like so bold and whatever, but at the same time, I there's a certain part of me that's like reserved and I want to hold back. And I'm saying this because there are many people on social media expressing themselves through fashion, and some are very scanty, and some are very conservative, and I wonder how it helps, like how do they like just from your standpoint and what you do, what message are you giving to people throughout this whole fashion, like what's the
It's for me,
message?
it's my message is just it's just a really great lifestyle. You will see many of my, and I'm the opposite in a sense, like I am always in somewhere very warm, and I don't think you'll maybe see one bathing suit post, right? Because I am, always like, okay, let me cover up because my many of my meetings and stuff like that I go into. But for me, I'm trying to portray, I think when a lot of the no, whenever I say no disrespect, it's usually a disrespect. But when someone says no offense, it's an offense. Something is coming after that. But it depends on what you are trying to catch, what you
Hmm.
are trying to put out there, right? I think you can be, I know, not I think, you can be absolutely stunning and beautiful, fully clothed, you know. I I sometimes kind of give you the sideway look if every time I see you, all I see is bottom and this and that, and then you're trying to talk to me about finance. It's like I just have that in my head. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just saw your butt cheek and a lot of breasts, and you're trying to tell me how to save my money. And I know it's wrong to kind of say you cannot be sexy and still sell a mortgage or still sell something like that. I think it's just, back at the Jamaican saying, too much of one thing is good for nothing. Um, that's my conservative part, right? But what for me, anything that I'm trying to portray on social media is literally the exact that you will see in person. You've seen me both on and off, and I am the same way. You don't see me come in wearing something that you're like, excuse me, can you cover up your breasts because it's too much of my face, right? So it's just a lifestyle of you can be timeless with your fashion. You can live an amazing lifestyle by still being conservative, stylish, and bold, right?
Right, right. So you, in addition to fashion, you do events, right? Corporate events.
Yep.
Okay. And how do you tie those in together? Like how does it blend in?
Very nicely because the I do events globally, and my clients are very, this is when they're very discerning clients. So I do really high-end luxury trips for corporate and for leisure as well. So it's interesting. I remember going to buy my very first car, and the person trying to sell me a car showed up, and their car was dirty, broken down, and he's trying to clean the car for me to get in. And I'm like, I'm never buying a car from you because it means that
Right.
you're a very bad salesman, right? If you cannot clean your car, your tires out of air, blah, blah, blah. How it ties in is that when I show up to one of my clients that I'm trying to charge crazy amount of money to because of what they're going to get. They're going to go to the Ritz-Carlton in Dubai. They're going to have bottles, all of that kind of stuff. Literally, when I walk into a room, it's automatically, they judge you in less than 7
Oh,
seconds.
in a second.
In a
Yes.
second. So literally when I walk in, that style and stuff goes with it. And especially when I'm doing super high-end weddings, it sometimes transfers to that, where someone's like, can you style the bridal party? Can you
Oh,
do this, right? So it
yes.
ties in beautifully. I used to do styling quite a bit, and I've just kind of lessened it a bit because I was focusing on, I am focusing on the event side, but it does tie in beautifully with that. There's always, and of course, it's always an extension of business where automatically they see you every day. And it's like, I'm looking to start a corporate job. Do you know anyone that can? And many times, if I can't, if I cannot, I will send them over to colleagues of mine that are amazing at that kind of stuff. Or
Mm-hmm.
I do both.
Mm. That's really interesting, and that's actually very important because if you're going to do an event and you're a stylist, you want to make sure that you show up at that event and you want to represent the brand, right? Because then people are going to look at you and they will judge you right there from, but just from the way
Immediately.
that you look, right?
Yeah, and
As
the
to,
most important thing for me, Max, is just to let people know that yes, of course, I can show you over 50 Gucci shoes, Louis Vuitton, all of that kind of stuff. But I can also show you my Gap stuff and my Old Navy stuff. And again, it's really how you put yourself together, right? One of my favorite outfits being here in a warm country is just literally a tank top from H&M and some flared, black jeans. That's
your
my outfit.
go-to.
I throw a blazer over it with some beautiful earrings, and I'm dressed up, right? So
Yes, yes.
it style should not cost you a lot of
Mm.
money, right? And I really believe in that.
So, say somebody now wants to start living their life, and they want to express themselves through fashion, especially if they want to express themselves the way that they really want to dress. And I know that this may sound a bit weird because it might be going, Maxine, what kind of, why would you think somebody would be struggling with how they really want to dress? But believe it or not, a lot of people do struggle
They
because,
do.
yeah, because they they probably don't have the style guide, or they don't have like a, they don't really know their style. They don't even know what would look good on them. They feel it won't look good on them. I'm one of those people. Like I would love to be styled by somebody that says, throw this on, put that on, because then at least I'll be able to just wear it and express myself. I went to a fashion thing with you once, and
Yeah.
Renee of Let's Get Dressed Now, she was there, and so was the shoe company there. And I remember trying on those green pants,
Yep.
and you couldn't even get me to put them on. I was like, no, 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 that's not me. And I'm telling you, when I put those pants on and the way the crowd reacted, I thought that I was on the red carpet. That pants gave me life, I'm telling you, because I don't know, it was like I said, like I ended up buying the pants. Thanks, Renee. But like I would normally just look at the pants on the rack and say, no, that's not me. People are gonna, they're gonna be saying, what is she wearing? Why is she going? Where's she going with that? It's not gonna look good on her. There's a bell bottoms, and there were other things in there too that I was looking at saying, nah, nah, nah. But what I'm trying to say is that just those pants alone gave me so much confidence in myself. I felt alive, and it's just pants. And same with certain things I may wear. So
Yep.
it definitely does help because, of course, when you express yourself with style, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel confident. So, what advice would you give somebody who's sort of like, I'm not really sure if I want to do that. I just want to stick to my basic. I don't want anyone to say, whatever. What can you give them?
I think everyone who's not into a lot of style and I don't like the word fashion because I think fashion is temporary and style is forever. If you're not a big like style person, yes, you still put yourself together. I think everyone should just get a stylist. It's different than going on
Mm,
Pinterest and say that looks good, whatever. Get someone just to learn your body type when I used to do it for corporate a few years ago, like heavily, I would fire clients, and it's interesting. Even in my event world right now, when I interview and do a consultation, I will say, no, thank you. I will refer you to someone else. Why? You cannot come to me with cookie cutter. So if you are very conservative and I'm working with you, but you're still wearing those things that are like tied up here and you have a little ribbon, and I'm trying to say, okay, maybe put the button here and maybe we can try a beige top with a red bottom just so you can gradually do that. And you're like, then you don't need a stylist. That is a waste of both our time and money, right? So it's that thing that you have the eye to say that's going to look great on you, and let's try it, right? But I'm also at the other side where I don't try clothes on when I shop because I just know my body type, and I just know that I'm a size 4 somewhere else and I'm a size 10 somewhere else. I can just look at it and tell. But I was in the change room the other day because it was like.
You want to come? You want to come a little closer to the mic? I'm just sort of like. Yeah.
I was in a change room the other day, and for the first time in years, and I was watching someone, and they were trying on a t-shirt, and they took over 30 minutes to decide if they wanted that t-shirt. And thank goodness.
Meanwhile.
I was like, if you have to take that long, plus you had to call your husband, then you had to call a friend, you should never buy that t-shirt.
No.
It's that simple, right?
Yeah, because you usually know from the time you put it on, you're like, okay, yes, nice fit.
You just know. But my thing is, my suggestion to many people, I don't care if you're just getting out of university, if you're switching jobs, if you're just looking for a different change, invest in a stylist, because it's like they will take you out of your comfort zone, but still they're not going to let you buy things that you will never wear. Their whole job is to this is your color, this is your tone, this is how you wear this, and this is what you'll have for 10, 20 years, right? So it's needed, because everybody thinks that, yeah, I know what looks good, but if you look at your pictures and everything looks the same for the past 20 years, and you're not even adding a belt to it or adding a gold earring or anything like that, you need a stylist.
Wow, this is great. I'm going to ask you a few questions and then before we go. So in terms of bathing suit, do you like 2-piece or bikini?
I am, well, 2-piece and a bikini is the same. No, 2-piece or 1-piece?
2-piece or 1-piece, sorry.
I like both. It depends on what, like, again, I see you in a 2-piece and you're like, again, this is your runway. You being in a bathing suit is your runway, you know? For me, I am always a 1-piece, but the 1-piece might as well be a 2-piece, because it's like, it's cut down low, it's cut out at the side, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I never go in water. I walk on the water, but I'm never actually in the water. But I think it depends on your body type. And as women, we're always trying to hide something. We're not happy with something.
Always.
So
I hide everything. People think I show everything, but I hide everything. Trust me.
Again, people will look at me and say, I have nothing to hide. And I'm like, sure. And the same with you, where, again, we're always kind of.
We all have a lot to hide.
We're covered in what we don't have, right? And I think, going back to the mental health, I think that is that's what's driving us a little bit crazy right now, because we're so much into comparison with so many people. And I'm like, I think we need to give ourselves that pep talk every day to say, you know what? You are badass. You look amazing. And nobody's perfect, except for some folks in Colombia and Brazil that paid $50,000 for it. But
I like that advice, Michelle, because, like I said, I wanted to talk to you because I've heard comments from people who say that they love your style and the way that you're so confident. And I wanted to bring this into the show because it's all part of our mental health. It's all a part of us taking care of ourselves and knowing that we are individual, we're beautiful, we can be bold with fashion, and we can be unapologetically happy and living our lives the way that we want, whether it be you wear bold, big, bright, bold colors, big earrings, big shoes, big hair, whatever it is. And I really would like to encourage anyone who's watching this to, break out of the habits you have of being, whether you're too conservative or you wear one color, or you're afraid to change up your style because of what people might be thinking. I know that there was two comments that came on. I think I saw one about somebody wanting to stop wearing black. I saw that. But if that's the case, and yeah, oh yeah, I need to. So I think there needs to be there needs to be a giant billboard with the sign "Be unapologetically you." Yes, Abraham. Yes, of course. Using color as therapy is a source of power. Absolutely.
Here's a funny, not funny. I think people can start. I love an all black outfit. Like that thing about like shoulders up in an all black outfit.
Yes.
Powerful as heck, right?
Oh,
I would say to anyone who is into the all black, don't apologize for that. But one thing I would say, start with a green belt. And better yet, make your undergarments the bright color. Buy a bright yellow brawn underwear set. Buy a bright red, a neon color, because that alone, knowing that you've got that color underneath, your shoulders kind of does that little like, I'm here, like right? It's kind of that like, yes. All right, here I am. So don't automatically like jump into the deep end, but start with, but what I will say to you is color is a mood changer. You cannot be in a bad mood wearing bright colors. It's something that happens to your brain, and something that the many compliments that you get, not like you're wearing the colors for compliments, but the moment you have a color on, everyone around you is like, oh my gosh, you look so great. Oh my God, I love that. And then it just literally boosts, and you continue to then say, oh, everybody kept complimenting me in yellow, so I'm going to wear yellow today, or I'm going to wear blue or something like that. So just start. Nothing wrong with black, brown, gray, but little steps, small steps.
Thank you. So Donna Forbes says, I need to get away from black. I need color in my style and fashion. Spring is here. Spring, here I come. Absolutely. Donna, I'm with you, because I have a lot of black as well. I always feel it's a safe color, and I will buy something in yellow, and I'll also buy it in black. But I'm trying to get out of it. It's a habit.
I'm going to go through all your purchases going forward to say, like, put that back.
I'm going to do that. Exactly. So, Michelle, I want to thank you so much for coming on here and chatting with me. And so for anyone who'd like to follow your wonderful style, they can follow you at Style by ME. So that's STYLED. STYLED by ME. You can see it on there. I always get confused. So Styled by ME.
Styled by me, or for sure. And then you see everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, I want to actually mention your other one too, The Occasion by Me. Once you go on her page, you'll see that section. You can follow her as well. So Jackie Samuels says, facts, colors boost overall demeanor. Absolutely. I did that. It happened to me too. Like, I bought a big, bright, bold top, and I bought a big, bold color dress, and it just gave me life. So, it definitely does help. So Michelle, again, I want to thank you so much. I know it's midnight for you. What, 1 o'clock in the morning now for you?
Sorry, I lost this thing. It's whatever time it is.
Yes, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing some of your journey in fashion. I wish you continued success with that, and we'll continue to follow you and be inspired by you. And I want to thank
you so much for having me. Thank you. You have been an amazing cheerleader, and an amazing human. And thank you so much for inviting me on. And congratulations to you on this beautiful, beautiful show. You need to tell City TV and CTV that you're ready. You're ready.
Hey, we'll pitch it.
Listen, it's all about manifesting, and the word is disruptive, right? So we cannot be disruptive by being meek. We got to be disruptive They say well-behaved women rarely makes history.
I love that. So let's tell everybody this. So Michelle always says this: well-behaved women rarely make history. And I read that sometimes. I'm like, you know what? She's right. So let's be disruptive. Let's be bold. Let's be beautiful and confident, and just live our lives unapologetically.
Go make some good trouble. Go make some
Yes.
good trouble. If you do good, people are gonna talk. You do bad, people are gonna talk. So do you, and do it unapologetically.
I love this, Michelle. Thank you so much. You've inspired me. I feel like I'm gonna go redo my closet now. So, so with that, I want to thank you again, and I want to thank the audience. And in the meantime, stay well, and don't forget to follow Business Takeout for anything that you need to do with whether it's business, graphic design, social media, and all the good stuff that you need to elevate your business. Thank you so much again, everyone, and good night. Bye, Michelle.
Bye, honey. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you enjoy our programming and want to help support Black entrepreneurship, please donate today. www.businesstakeout.com/donate.